Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today. At Acasis, innovation drives us. Since 2008, we've been creating cutting-edge technology products that make your life easier. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit Acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com. Unlock a world of convenience with Mully Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. From gourmet snacks to unique finds, each box is tailored to your taste. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.
Yes, indeed. It is the Cam Show. It's the one that we didn't want to do. We didn't want to do. It's Friday, February 21st, and we are breaking down the Four Nations final. Not a good one for the United States. One that we saw coming. I'm going to throw a hat on. My hair looks worse than I thought. I'm Cam Stewart, Zach Burke alongside. Let's bring Zach in right away. I'd like to bring Zach in right away.
Okay.
And as much as I love hearing myself twice, I do want to have Zach in here. You kind of called it. You kind of called it.
I'm upset that I called it.
I'm not holding it against you.
Overtime. Yeah.
I'm not holding it against you, but you did call. Canada wins these games.
They do. They do.
I thought this one would be different. I thought the U.S. finally had the team to do this, but here we are.
I will say, though, an enjoyable game.
Yeah.
Canada, Nate McKinnon doing what Canada, I think, has done in every single game throughout the Four Nations tournament, which is score first and very early.
Hey, the U.S. had given up the first goal in their 2 wins.
That's true.
Thought we had them right where we wanted them.
I thought in that overtime period, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that they had a couple good shots that just didn't happen. That Bennington? Isn't that the
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
He's the Blues goalie too, isn't he? I think so.
Yes,
Unfortunately, was just on his game on some of them. Like
finally.
yeah,
Like, he hadn't done that the whole tournament.
No, but
Launched it.
he had some moments, and then it was just I don't know. It's you were obviously the hockey guy, but from the little bit that I've watched, and I feel like it works the same way in soccer some too. Is sometimes shots just don't go your way. Like there's no other way about it, and sometimes it just works for the other team, even when you have had more attempts and better shots on goal, and it just doesn't work for you, and that's how it felt in that overtime period.
It's kind of how it be.
Yeah, that's how puck go.
Yeah. Puck luck, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the U.S. dominated that overtime for however long it was. Did we even make it halfway through? I'm not sure that we did. Yep, Connor McDavid, best player on the planet, scores the game winner. Iconic moment for him. I mean, this is how cruel it can get. I would have traded fucking anything for him to win the Stanley Cup last year rather than this shit. Like this fucking guy, man. I pay so much money to go and see him when he plays in my city. The two times I've seen him live, because I'm going to go watch the next Gretzky, right? Yeah. 2 times I go see him live. It takes him 5 periods to put a shot on goal. He had 1 assist in those 2 games that I saw him. I was rooting so hard for him to win the Stanley Cup last year, especially in that comeback, like when the comeback started against Florida. I was wearing my McDavid jersey every game and everything. He doesn't win that. And then he does this to me. What a dick. Like, seriously, what an asshole.
Yeah. And why? First of all, like, why wait till now to do it? If he's let you down all these other times, why not just continue the streak of letting you down?
Because that would be too nice.
I will, if I have a silver lining in this, and it's a very, very small silver lining, both goals were scored by Senators last night. So.
Yeah, both U.S. goals, yeah.
So I mean, at least that was just kind of a little like team pride in the national pride, I guess there. But
meanwhile, I get to see the Bruins just post after post about Brad Marchand winning this thing, and I'm like, you know what? You do one,
yeah,
one token post. Congrats to our guy, and then read the fucking room.
That's true.
Now, granted, there are plenty of Bruins fans in Canada, but seriously, do me a favor, read the fucking room. Heartbreaking, man. I did not think. I mean, I guess I could have assumed going into yesterday how much that I how hard I would have taken this had they lost. But I was so bummed, man. It's just so bummed. It's all I've thought about since then. It's been 12 hours here as we're going live. You're live at 9 noon Eastern time on YouTube, just like we do every weekday. It's all I've thought about. I've thought about who played well, who played poorly. We're going to do a stock up, stock down in the next segment. Just Team USA. And thought about this year, team selection, Sullivan's tournament. Oh, It's just all I've thought probably all about today, and maybe tomorrow. Because then tomorrow, by the way, I have to go back to watching the fucking Bruins, which is just awful. Like that's torture, man.
I guess it's 2 days.
It is quick.
Yeah,
quick turnaround.
I mean, the basketball let them recover at least a full week after they threw basketballs through a windmill.
I think somebody's got to go across the country.
And Matt McClung won 3-time dunk champion.
Yeah, minor leaguers.
Got to rest up after that. You know, for all the all-stars who didn't play in those 40 points. Anyway,
this is still, I will say, just instant reaction. We talked about this kind of hinging American victory. I think this is still stomped the NBA pretty good the last week. Can I be totally honest with you?
Yeah, for sure.
I got an alert last night as I'm like, watching my hype videos and shit for this game. It's like an hour and a half before the Team USA game. I get the notification like Celtics 76ers starting soon. I was like, what? No clue. No clue they were playing last night. I have been so zoned out of everything. I was like, what? I mean, it makes sense, right? It's like a week after the All-Star game. But I'm like, no idea, and didn't watch a second of it. I watched a bunch of it. Like I watched more than half of the full replay of the game last night, but because I needed to watch something that wasn't hockey.
Yeah.
But nope, had no idea. That's what hockey's done, man.
I get that. It's funny.
Still a win, at least for the week. It needs to be for longer.
Oh no, I agree. I had the same thought because for some reason I thought the game last night was on Max to start off since the other one was, and so I logged on there. Yeah, they put it. They had to go. I had watched it on Hulu through ESPN, but so I go there and that's where it popped up, where it was a picture of Embiid and Tatum, and I was like, oh, they're back playing again tonight? Huh? Thought they would have waited till Friday. Like that was the thought. I was like, oh, all right. So
they should do like what other leagues do with the NFL. Like don't go head to head.
Yeah, no.
Don't even try going head to head with this Four Nations face-off final.
Well, because I feel like that's what most people were talking about. Like also, even if you were an NBA fan, the biggest news yesterday was like, as a whole, was what, Wemby being shut down. You're not going to watch a random Celtics 76ers game unless you're like a diehard fan of either of those teams. I will say,
and by the way, just real quick with that specific game, there were a ton of Celtics fans in the building in Philadelphia. Obviously, Celtics fans travel really well; they're everywhere. And Philly sucks this year, but that doesn't usually happen because Philly's a good sports town. But it was like 60-65% Celtics fans in there last night. And I think honestly, hockey might have had something to do with this. Sixers fans who were like, you know what, screw this team. I'm not going to this game. I'm not going to watch them lose to the Celtics by 20, which is exactly what happened. I'm going to sell it and watch the hockey game. I think there was some of that. Maybe I'm being naive.
No,
maybe it's just I love hockey too much. But I think there might have been some of that.
No, I think they drew viewership from other people who might not necessarily, for that reasons of like, I'm not necessarily excited about this matchup coming back. Like, you can't tell me that somebody who lives in a hockey town who's a fan of both, like, I don't know for sure if they played, but if the Nuggets played last night, yeah, I'm still more into hockey. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Two things that I wanted to get your opinion on while we talk about it, because I know you're going to do the stock, and I'll stay out of that because
I got some other things to talk about in this segment, and then stock up.
So let me just add the two things I wanted to talk to you about this. Okay. One was I saw a quote from, and if I butcher his name, I'm going to be wrong, but it's Zach Werenski, I think the defenseman for the Jackets. He had a quote afterwards that I really liked, at least kind of where they were talking about of like, we showed that we're right there with Canada. I'm paraphrasing his first part. Like we showed that we're right there with Canada. Ultimately, they won, but I feel like we should be excited to be here. But he did say at the end, he's like, this group that we have here is going to be together a long time, and we expect to win now. Which to me could be some of, obviously that's what you want to say even after a loss.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a really young Team USA for the most part.
Yes. And this core is going to be here for a while. And when it comes to probably the next two tournaments, they're going to have some tough decisions to make because they have this next generation, which is very young right now. The Lane Hudsons and the Will Smiths and kind of those guys. that's going to be really, really talented too. So yeah, I mean, you look at it. I mean, Matthews is in his prime. Eichel is in his prime. Matthew Tkachuk's in his prime. Brady's kind of going right into it. So all within that 26 to 28 range. And then you've got a bunch of guys, Sanderson's 22. Werenski can't be much older than that. Larkin's still pretty young for a guy who's been in the league a while. Quinn Hughes, who missed this tournament, reigning Norris Trophy winner, is 24. So you've got like a good core of guys who are in their prime right now, and then guys who are going to be in their prime in the next two tournaments. So this is really well set up for the U.S. I will say about the first part of the quote, they should know that they should be competing with Canada.
That's true.
Like just because of the talent they had. This is what made it so fascinating was 9 years ago, they just didn't. They didn't have the talent they have now. And how much USA hockey has grown since then is evidenced by what you see on the ice. Going forward, and I don't think last night is excluded from this, like they shouldn't be just happy being there. And I think they do know that. I kind of know what Werenski's saying there, but like they shouldn't be just happy being there in a final with Canada. It's pretty cool that Canada has that kind of top end talent. Those top 3 forwards, top 4 forwards, and that the U.S. has probably a better team. But it comes back to that latter part there. U.S. had a better team, and they were playing on home ice. You're not crushing them. This is not like being on the other side of the Miracle on Ice, but you should be winning that. And that's what stings. So,
last thing then. This was the other one. So the anthem starts, the Canadian national anthem. And we get a few boo birds, which at first I was like, oh, okay. And then it seems to just fade away. And then I hear people singing "Oh Canada" with it. Now I do not know if that is just the contingents of Canadian Team Canada fans who made it there, who were just
a lot of Canadian fans there.
There were.
Yep.
But it seemed like instead of cheering, they just decided to sing along.
I think what happened, and I tweeted this out while it was happening. I think the Canadian national anthem was booing itself. Because I don't know what that woman was singing. That was so bizarre. Like she started to do the French part of the anthem, which is like half of it, but she only did it for one line.
Yeah.
And I don't know what was going on. I've never heard it sung like that. And it's a very good song. It's a great national anthem. And like you've got the whole Canadian contingent singing with it. And I'm sure some Americans filled in because it was so bad. They were like, this is insulting. This is a good song that's being wasted in such a big game. It was so weird. Like the crowd couldn't really get the last part of it.
The American fans are like, man, like we want to boo this, but it's so bad we feel like we need to just sing along to help it out.
I think there was some of that. I think they just stopped booing. I think they were shocked. And the Canadians were singing.
It seemed to just completely die. And I was like, okay, that's strange.
Very weird. Very weird, man. Anyway. Yeah. That was the Four Nations Face-Off Championship. I have been taking this harder than I thought I was going to. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I really that hit home a little bit different last night. That was the biggest hockey game that I've been tuned into for years. And you guys know how much of a diehard Bruins fan I am. That was bigger than any Stanley Cup playoff game the Bruins have played in 6 years. And that crushed me at the end. Oh, well, at least it was Connor McDavid, best player on the planet, one of my favorite players ever. But you know what? I've already had that. I've already lost a winner-take-all, best-on-best game to Canada where the best player on the planet scores the overtime winner. In fact, I'm kind of sick of it. That's now twice in my life that's happened. I don't need any more. I've been watching that goddamn Sidney Crosby goal for 15 years now. I really didn't need another one. And I think we also need to talk about this TD Garden curse, okay? Because the amount of hockey heartbreak for the home team in that building is unfathomable. All in my lifetime. In fact, Zach got to watch this with his infant son, the first sporting event he's watched with him. Welcome to hockey. This is what it is. It will absolutely rip your heart out, okay? Great atmosphere, big-time occasion, home game, landmark kind of game. Guess what? You're going to have your heart ripped out. And specifically my experience being a Bruins fan, I'll always have that Stanley Cup 2011. But outside of that, it has been pure heartbreak in that building. All the time, the Game 7 losses, the Game 7 overtime losses. This chief amongst them. This felt like the Panthers game in 2023. And it doesn't help that Sam Bennett also scores in this game. But, that was just crushing, man. And I actually said at some point, I think it was in the second period, the USA might have been winning or Sam Bennett might have just tied it. But, I said to my girlfriend watching it on TV, I'm like, this is too good. They're going to fuck this up. Like, I can't help it, man. It courses through my veins when there's something this awesome happening. This kind of atmosphere, this kind of team, this kind of moment, that building. And I'm like, something's going to go wrong here. They're going to mess this up. Team USA messes it up a lot. A lot, man. You might have sold your soul for the Miracle on Ice for 1980. You got the great World Cup of Hockey win in 96 in Canada, but I don't know how many people outside of the U.S. remember that. Because since then, it has been total heartbreak. That is now what? 3 best-on-best championship game losses to Canada. 2010 Olympics, 2002 Olympics, and this. And each time, well, I shouldn't say each time, twice, the U.S. had the better team. And they lost because Canada wins these games. And I don't know what would have happened to that country if they had lost. I would have loved to have found out. But now we have to sit and let this fester for a whole nother year. And it sucks. It sucks, man. Like, it was too much good happening. It really was. And that anthem for the U.S., by the way, the Canadian national anthem was totally butchered, which sucks. It's a beautiful anthem. It shouldn't be done like that, no matter what they're doing to ours. But the U.S. national anthem, I have never about-faced on a national anthem in the middle of it like I did on that one. I was so bummed that they didn't have Todd Angeli doing it, the Bruins in-house anthem singer, who did a great job on Monday. I was bummed they didn't have him, but on top of that, they had the Boston Pops. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Read the room, dude. You're going to have a liquored up U.S.-Canada hockey crowd for the biggest game on American soil in 45 years, and you're going to roll out the Boston Pops? And they did this opera orchestral, and like the first half of it, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. They're ruining this moment. And then that shit starts to build. And the whole crowd is singing the whole time anyway. And that crescendo at the end, I had goosebumps, which takes a lot for me to have watching at home these days. Literal goosebumps. Watch it. I was like, oh my God. The crescendo of that. And the woman singing it, she is doing a great job. She's belting out land of the free and home of the, and it all holds. And the crowd is singing. And she's literally like looking into the camera like, brave, and like holds it at it was so good. And I'm like, man, that must have been electric live. It had like this kind of retro feel to it. That's what you would have heard in like an original 6-game Boston Garden 100 years ago. So at the end, it was perfect. And then, of course, as the U.S. does, they lose. They lose to Canada when it matters, and they lose to Canada in overtime. And we're left sitting here thinking, well, next time. We have been next yearing this shit since 1980. And here we go again. I mean, it was all too good. The USA chants where they're going section by section. The Johnny Hockey chants that start in the third period. It was all too good to be true. I think we have to start talking about a TD Garden curse. I also think after that loss to Canada in the Four Nations final, we need to have a retrospective on Auston Matthews. Captain Auston Matthews. Matthews had a decent tournament, and he had 2 primary assists in this game. He had the 2 primary assists on the 2 goals that the USA scored. And I thought he was excellent defensively the whole series, which is a part of his game that's really grown the last couple of years. But yet we sit here the morning after with the same narrative about Auston Matthews coming true. I made the joke, the other day of Matthews saying it's like a game 7. And I'm like, I don't want him playing a game 7 at TD Garden. You know why? Because he always loses. There are 2 teams that consistently lose game 7s at the TD Garden, the Boston Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs. So you can take Auston Matthews out of the Leafs uniform. You can't take the Leafs out of him. Because, again, he played pretty well this whole tournament. He didn't score a goal, which you kind of need that from a guy who scored 69 goals last year and is going to be your captain and your best player. I'd like a goal out of him. But okay, quick tournament, got a bunch of assists, played good defense. And then we get to overtime, and the U.S. is battering Canada in overtime, just absolutely peppering them. And who has the 2 best chances of overtime? Auston Matthews, who, of course, misses the 2 best opportunities in overtime. Auston Matthews. Specifically that first one where he's gliding into the slot. It comes right to him. That should be a goal 100 times out of 100 for a guy like Auston Matthews. And Jordan Binnington, because it's an elimination game at TD Garden, becomes Patrick Roy. And Auston Matthews is the GOAT in the all lowercase again. Oh, but it doesn't stop there. Remember Connor McDavid's game-winning goal where he's wide open in the slot? What is my man Auston Matthews doing? He's just gliding around, checking air as the center, while the other team's center is right in the low slot, wide open. So Matthews plays a pretty good tournament. Doesn't score a goal, though. And then wastes 2 chances to win it for the U.S. in overtime and undoubtedly gives up the chance that leads to Canada winning it. I think he did a lot of things right in this tournament, but that's your captain. I don't know if you can make him the captain next time. I don't know that you could do that. There were so many other guys that set the tone in this tournament. So many guys that led by example in this tournament. In fact, I was pretty critical of Charlie McAvoy being an alternate captain on this team. He might have been a better fit at captain than Auston Matthews was. But certainly if I had to pick right now who's going to be your captain in Milan next year, I can't look any further than Matthew Tkachuk. I'm certainly not looking at Auston Matthews. When you're the captain and you're the star player, and not just the star player, but one of the 2 or 3 best players of your generation, you have to make that happen when you get 2 golden chances like that. The most talented player in American history. Maybe that's too much weight on his shoulders. Maybe it is. And Matthew Tkachuk, I mean, the guy's got to be really injured, man. I don't like the guy outside of a Team USA setting, but he is a gamer. There's no way he's not pretty darn hurt if he's not playing after the second period of that game. No doubt. But I think you've got to look at him, even though he wasn't on the ice, and at least Matthews was. I think you got to look long and hard about Matthew Tkachuk being your captain at the next tournament. It might be harsh on Matthews, but that's the kind of expectations we have when you're a player of that caliber, when you've won an MVP award and you're the best, most skilled player ever to put on the sweater. I mean, he's probably going to become the best Leafs player in history, let alone best American player. I need you in those moments. Need you. the end of the day, I should have got the Eichel jersey. I shouldn't have got the Matthews one. But seriously, I think we need to give a good, long, hard look at Auston Matthews being the captain. He's the captain of the Leafs because he's the face of the franchise. And he is the best player for Team USA and will continue to be probably as long as he's playing for the USA. But that doesn't always correlate. And I don't even know if it's going to correlate with the Leafs. You know? Nick Lidstrom was an alternate captain for like 15 years when Yzerman was the captain in Detroit. You know? It's like you don't always have to have the best player be the captain. We see it sometimes work, you know, with Gretzky and McDavid in Edmonton. But then again, Mark Messier is one of the great leaders of all time. He wasn't the captain for 4 of those Stanley Cups with Edmonton. Gretzky was. And so I think you need to I don't think there's any shame in having Auston Matthews be an alternate captain, still be one of the faces of this team, but saying, hey, we've got to get the structure of this right. So I think there should be some criticism of Auston Matthews today, even though he had 2 points in the game last night and he was really stout defensively the whole tournament. I think when you get 2 silver platter chances like that in overtime to have the moment of your career, the moment for your country, like that would have been the iconic moment in Auston Matthews' career. And he's been second fiddle to Connor McDavid his whole career. Most other eras, he would be the best player in his era, but he's not with Connor McDavid. And he misses 2 chances, blows a defensive assignment, and who scores the game-winning goal but Connor McDavid? He's always finishing second to this guy. And I hope that does not continue. Hopefully this propels Team USA going forward, especially next year. Thankfully, we only have to wait 1 year for it. But it's just not a great day for Auston Matthews and that USA brand with Auston Matthews. I think the fans came to love the Tkachuk brothers and a whole bunch of other guys on this team that we'll talk about in the next segment. And not that they hate Auston Matthews, but I think it's going to be easier next time to just not automatically default make Auston Matthews your captain because I got to have more there. Was his stock down? That might be a bit harsh. We'll see if he makes the list. We're going to go 5 stock ups, 5 stock downs on Team USA after the 4 Nations final loss. Let me know who you guys think it should be down in the comments below. The Cam Show rolls on after this.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internex.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Elevate your experience with Grenco Science, the leaders in cutting-edge vaporizers. Whether you're at home or on the go, our sleek, powerful devices deliver smooth, consistent hits every time. Quality you can trust, innovation you can feel. Grenco Science. Take your vapor game to the next level. Visit us at GrencoScience.com. At Terrapin Ridge Farms, they believe in the joy of effortless entertaining. Inspired by CEO Mary O'Donnell's mom and her legendary holiday parties, they've crafted a line of gourmet foods that turn any meal into a celebration. From savory jams to mustards, aiolis, and more, their products are made with love, bringing unforgettable flavors to your table. Whether it's a casual get-together or a special occasion, they make it easy to impress. Terrapin Ridge Farms, where great food and great memories come together. Visit them at terrapinridge.com. Terrapin Ridge.
Do you ever have a story that you just can't get out of your head?
One that you play the details of over and over with your friends?
Well, you've come to the right place. I'm Claire.
And I'm Susan.
And this is Justice Pending,
a weekly true crime podcast where we discuss tantalizing crimes with more questions than answers.
Thanks for joining us.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Combine that with OrganicHemp.com's top quality CBD for ultimate balance. Start your healing journey today at GlobalHealing.com and OrganicHemp.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
It all began with a simple idea, cutting handles off old ski sticks to create better pull-up bars. This sparked the creation of the revolutionary Engels 90 handles. After testing over 70 prototypes with 300 athletes, our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
Unlock a world of convenience with Mully Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your taste. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com.
It's the Cam Show. It's Rogue Media Sports Network, live on YouTube every weekday at high noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts. God, fuck Jordan Binnington, man. Like, that guy, we're done, okay? You fucking ruined my life twice. I think that's enough, okay? We've had about enough of Jordan Binnington. He, like, literally fucking comes out of nowhere, completely ruins my life, does dick for 6 years and the first 3 games of this tournament, and then ruins my life again. Fuck this guy. I hate Jordan Binnington. He's my new most hated player in the league. Matthew Tkachuk will probably get right back up there. Sam Bennett, too. Fuck Sam Bennett, that piece of shit. It's a nice goal that he scored, but he is a piece of shit. Gonna be a long year, man. Gonna be a long year. Ugh. There were some disappointments from Team USA in this tournament, even when things were going well. But I think you got a lot of guys getting some national spotlight, international spotlight that they hadn't gotten before. So now that the Four Nations tournament is over, sad, let's look at what USA players had stock up, stock down. Pretty simple. Only looking at Team USA, 5 for each. Who had their stock go up? Who had their stock go down? Let's take a look first at stock up. One that Zach already mentioned in the last segment, Zach Werenski of the Columbus Blue Jackets. This guy has been awesome all season long, both ends of the ice. He's actually making a sneaky MVP Hart Trophy case here for kind of what Columbus has done coming out of nowhere. And I think he might have been going into this game. I think he was Team USA's leading point scorer going into this final. So he was outstanding, both ends of the ice. Number 4, this guy has already won a Stanley Cup and is seen as a star already, but Jack Eichel, I think you just see stock up for him because the two-way game was also awesome. Now, like Matthews, he didn't score a goal, but I think the way you go up and down the ice, you saw a 200-foot player in Jack Eichel in this tournament. You saw a little bit of that, a lot of that in the 23 Stanley Cup run when Vegas won it all. And if you've been watching Vegas the last year, you've certainly seen that. I think he's having his best year ever right now, and he certainly showed it in this tournament. What you saw in this tournament from him is a guy who is a top 3 or 4 center in the league. And that obviously includes, I guess top 5 to be liberal with it, right? McDavid, Draisaitl, McKinnon, Matthews, and he's there. He's right there. It was awesome. Number 3, Brady Tkachuk. What else do I need to say? The guy has never played in a playoff game, and so I think a lot of people have not seen Brady Tkachuk at all, just as a guy who's played in Ottawa his whole career and has never played in a playoff game. But you want to talk about a guy who was built for the postseason. You saw it in this tournament. Like this was a playoff style of hockey, and he thrived. He scored big goals for this team. He scored 2 against Finland. He scored the equalizer in the final to make it 1-1. And it was all doing the same thing, going hard to the net and being physical in the corners. How many times he won puck battles in the corners, man? He wasn't just that fight against Sam Bennett. Like, he was physical as holy hell the whole series. He left it all out on the line. He is a very good two-way player. He is someone I would kill to have on the Bruins. And I don't think the Bruins are going to make the playoffs this year. So I'm almost kind of hoping that Ottawa does in their place, because I want to see Brady Tkachuk playing in it. I still would rather have the Bruins make the playoffs, but you know what I mean. Number 2, Dylan Larkin. Dylan Larkin is the antithesis of one of the guys I have on the stock down list, but in the perfect way. He accepted a 4th line role to a T. This is a guy who has grown up an icon. Michigan kid, starred at the University of Michigan, and then becomes, I think, the youngest Red Wings captain in their history. He's been the captain of the Red Wings for years now. He's also not played in a playoff game, but you want to talk about a guy who is the face of the franchise there and has been, he's always been, the Michigan kid playing at U of M. The Michigan kid who played at U of M and now plays for the Red Wings and is now the captain of the Red Wings. He has always been the guy. And he comes on to this team, accepts a 3rd, 4th line role, and was genuinely one of the best forwards in the tournament. Did all the little things well, scored some goals, scored the game winner against Canada on Saturday. He major stock up. A lot of fans are going to know the name Dylan Larkin from now on. And number 1, you couldn't be any more stock up than this guy. Jaccob Slavin. Wow. He was one of the most underrated players in the league going into this tournament. He's probably the most underrated player in the league right now. You could have made an argument for him being the tournament MVP. Like, he was that good for the U.S. throughout. And you're not going to see it in the point totals. But if you watch the games, you're going to be like, and they call him the eraser. That's what he is. Jaccob Slavin prevents you from playing offense, which is exactly what he's supposed to do. And that play he had on Crosby in the second period last night is one of the best defensive plays I've ever seen. He's boxing him out. The rebound goes right to Crosby's forehand, and he's anticipating that the rebound is going there. And with lightning quick instincts, he turns around full, 360 with his stick and gets the stick on it and clears it away. I've never seen a play like it in the low slot. It was unbelievable. And by the way, I should mention for Jack Eichel in that 200-foot game that we've been seeing, he had one of the other best defensive plays I've ever seen also in this game. He's on the penalty kill. This is Jack Eichel, number 2 overall pick, silkiest skater you've ever seen, beautiful hands, like all this great offensive talent. He's on the penalty kill. He blocks a shot that breaks his stick, plays out there with 30 seconds without his stick, and then makes a beautiful kick save in the slot, controls it with his skate and kicks it out. Team USA played awesome team defense, but it did start with Jaccob Slavin, who, eraser is I don't even know if it's doing enough. This guy should be getting Norris Trophy recognition. And maybe we're in this era now where you have to be a Quinn Hughes, Cale Makar, Erik Karlsson, and have a ton of offensive upside too. If that's the case, that's too bad, because Jaccob Slavin had to be their most valuable player at the tournament and has to be one of the most valuable defensive players in the entire league. He was off the charts good in this tournament. Couldn't believe how good he was. And this is a guy who's watched a lot of Hurricanes against the Bruins the last couple of years. Honorable mention, by the way, in stock up is Connor Hellebuyck, who was pretty great in this game. The only reason I don't have him on the list is because he's won 2 Vezina trophies. But the knock on him is that he folds in the playoffs. And this was the playoffs here, and he was excellent and kept them in the game at some points in this game in the final. When it could have been 2-0 Canada, he was backpacking them. And I don't think any of those goals are ones that you can really blame Connor Hellebuyck. So it's a bit stock up there. Stock down. Number 5. I actually weighted this one. Number 5, Brock Nelson. He looked about as old as he did in that picture. Played about as old as that was. In fact, he had a bad icing play that led to the faceoff that Canada scored its game-winning goal. Just was not strong on the puck, was not creative at all in this tournament. Definitely looked like one of those players who didn't deserve to be there, which leads me to a big point about this stock down section, is that, you know, it kind of became a thing with Herb Brooks in the 1980 team, which worked to perfection, was I'm not looking for the best players, I'm looking for the right players. And I think the U.S. might have looked too much for the right players in this tournament rather than the best players. Like, you played a couple of guys out of position anyway. I would have much rather had a guy like Tage Thompson or Cole Caulfield out there than Brock Nelson. Another thing they did was have too many players from the goddamn New York Rangers. The Rangers stink. They're mid as hell. They have absolutely fallen apart in less than a year. And yet I've got like 3 or 4 New York Rangers on there. And I could have had them all on the stock down list. I only put 2 of them to be nice. I didn't put all 4. But number 4 on this list is Adam Fox, and he probably should be higher now that I look at it. This is a Norris Trophy winner, and golly, did he suck in this tournament. Suck, especially last night against Canada. He might have been their worst defenseman in the tournament. Just dreadful, man. Puck constantly hopping over his stick, out of position all the time. Couldn't hold the line. There was that one play where he was just hanging out in the neutral zone like Seth Jones in that famous Patrick Kane clip, and they passed back to him, and he's not even in the goddamn zone. He was awful in this tournament. Another New York Ranger, number 3, Vincent Trocheck. Don't know why he was there. Genuinely don't know why he was there. 4th line kind of grinder. He was the one that you point to and you were like, well, this guy doesn't have very much skill. Oh, but he's tight with JT Miller, but he's not going to play on the same line as JT Miller. Just gave you absolutely nothing in this series. Nothing at all. Kyle Connor, number 2. You want to talk about giving you nothing. You want to talk about a big disappointment. Kyle Connor of the Winnipeg Jets went into this tournament as a first liner, and he was a healthy scratch in the championship game. That is a massive fall from grace. Massive. Kyle Connor, what are you doing for me? What are you doing for me, bud? Absolutely nothing. And a guy who did play all the games, maybe I should have put Kyle Connor number 1, but I put him at number 2 because this guy did play all the games. But Jack Hughes, talk about a guy who looked lost, especially in these last 2 games. I think he's got 11 points in 12 career playoff games, but that looked like a guy who was not made for the playoffs at all. Just no physicality, lacked the creativity in this game too, but couldn't win puck battles. Did not play along the boards at all as a winger. Just the game was too physical for him. It was too intense for him. I would be pissing my pants if I was a New Jersey Devils fan and that's your guy going into the postseason. I really would. I just thought he was a boy amongst men in this Four Nations face-off, specifically in the final of that game. Really could have used some more out of him. You got to question what he's going to be like in the playoffs. It's kind of funny, like he's played playoff games. Brady Tkachuk hasn't. Brady Tkachuk's made for the playoffs, clearly. I almost said Quinn Hughes. I like Quinn Hughes a lot. Jack Hughes is not. And that was a big disappointment for me. So there's your stock ups, your stock downs. We'll see how many of these guys are playing in the playoffs this year. Certainly those Rangers guys won't be, but let's load them up. Let's put all them on our team. Them and Brock Nelson. That'll be interesting to see what it looks like next year. Whether it will be guys like Tage Thompson and Cole Caulfield and Lane Hudson, maybe a Will Smith, probably a bit too early for him. Maybe too early for Lane Hudson, but we'll see. That Olympic ice surface could beckon for a guy like Lane Hudson over even a Norris Trophy winner like Adam Fox, just from what we saw in this tournament, what we've seen this season. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who had their stock up? Who had their stock down in this tournament? Let me know. Be sure to like and subscribe. We are live at high noon Eastern time every weekday talking Boston sports, and then wherever you get your podcasts. I got a quick one coming up next. I want to talk about a Patriots draft day target that a lot of people like, but I really don't. That's next on The Cam Show.
Shades is your trusted partner in stage lighting, offering a wide range of high-quality, innovative products since 2015. With designs that cater to all needs, fast delivery, and affordable prices, we provide exceptional customer service to ensure your satisfaction. With warehouses across the globe and sales in over 100 countries, Sheds is quickly becoming one of the most recognized names in the stage lighting industry. Visit shehds.com today to discover top-tier stage lighting solutions and become part of our global network.
Introducing Muc-Off's classic pink bike cleaner, powered by revolutionary nanotechnology that breaks down dirt and grime on a microscopic level while protecting your bike's delicate finish. Developed by our mad developer Alex and tested by riders, our products are made by riders for riders. Discover more at us.muc-off.com, where we break the mold to bring you the best in bike care.
At Open Goal USA, we're revolutionizing training for both soccer and lacrosse with our innovative portable rebounders. Perfect for players of all ages and skill levels, our rebounders improve accuracy, control, and technique in both sports. Built with premium materials for durability and ease of use, they're ideal for training anywhere, anytime. Whether you're perfecting your soccer game or sharpening your lacrosse skills, Open Goal USA has you covered. Visit OpenGoalUSA.com and elevate your training today.
Chappellex is a full-category shapewear brand dedicated to providing women with exceptional comfort and support. We offer thoughtfully designed solutions that blend style with functionality, empowering women to feel confident and at ease every day. Chappellex is redefining what it means to have a perfect body. Our mission celebrates body positivity, embracing every shape and size, because true beauty lies in authenticity. Visit shapellx.com today and join a movement towards self-love, acceptance, and confidence.
Indulge in Blum's luxurious Lotus flower rolls. The green Lotus roll bursts with a caramel apple flavor, while the blue Lotus roll offers a smooth berry cream sensation. With our Crush for Flavor technology, enjoy an instant burst of natural, intense flavor anytime you desire. Elevate your experience with the finest creations nature has to offer. Explore the full collection at blumleaf.com. That's BLUUMLEAF.com. Blumleaf. Golf Partner, the world's largest golf store network, offers more purchasing opportunities than anywhere else. With a dominant market share and a wider selection of quality secondhand golf clubs than our competitors, we make it easy for you to enjoy the game with affordable, top-quality equipment. Join us at golfpartnerusa.com and discover why we're the trusted choice for golf lovers worldwide. That's GOLFPARTNERUSA.com. Golf Partner. At Terrapin Ridge Farms, they believe in the joy of effortless entertaining. Inspired by CEO Mary O'Donnell's mom and her legendary holiday parties, they've crafted a line of gourmet foods that turn any meal into a celebration. From savory jams to mustards, aiolis, and more, their products are made with love, bringing unforgettable flavors to your table. Whether it's a casual get-together or a special occasion, they make it easy to impress. Terrapin Ridge Farms, where great food and great memories come together. Visit them at terrapinridge.com. Terrapin Ridge.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
Running things out here on the Cam Show on this Friday. Boy, do I just want to talk Four Nations, man. That's all I have cared about for over a week now. It's all I've been into. And it's a heartbreaking loss, man. Probably even talk some more about it on Monday, because why not, dude? But it is a Boston sports show, and it is a big offseason for the Patriots. In fact, pretty good news for the Patriots this week. Bad news for Team USA Hockey, but good news for the Patriots. That salary cap is going up in the NFL. So even with having the first or second highest cap space in the league this offseason, that cap is going up a considerable amount. Probably great news for the Cowboys, actually. But we are looking at the draft, and the closer we get to the draft, the closer we get to free agency, really, the more it sounds like the Patriots are going to be able to address tackle in free agency, which is something I've said for a while. So if they're able to do that, then that opens up a lot of things at the draft table in terms of skill positions. Doubt that Carter and Hunter will be there, or Hunter will be there. Maybe there's a chance Travis Hunter's there at 4. Maybe you get. I doubt it. I think those are the two best prospects in the draft, and you went and won in the last week of the season, so you dropped from 1 to 4. So congratulations, you played yourself. And now you would look at, Will Campbell would be the thing if you don't feel like you have your tackle position solidified. You've got the corner from Michigan. You've got the defensive tackle from Michigan. And then there's this name that pops up that did pop up early doors for the Patriots, kind of went away, and now it might be coming back. A guy who's projected to be in the top 10, but maybe towards the back half of the top 10, but might just sit there at 4 for the Patriots. It's Arizona receiver Tet McMillan. Oh, man. Tet McMillan. I've seen Tet McMillan play a lot. I cover a lot of Big 12 football. The kid is a monster. He's huge, 6'5", 212, long arms, goes up there, kind of does a little bit of everything. He can be your kind of possession, short yardage receiver, but definitely makes big plays both in yak and just deep routes down the field. Like he is your prototypical every down X receiver, third down target kind of guy, which sounds like exactly what the Patriots need. The worst receiver room in the league last year. Nobody that could win on the outside. You've got this good young quarterback that's cheap. Why wouldn't you want Tet McMillan? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why I don't want the Patriots to draft Tet McMillan. Because of Chad Jackson and Josh Boyce and Tyquan Thornton and N'Keal Harry. All of those are reasons why I don't want the Patriots to draft him. The Patriots have proven as an organization time and time again, they can't draft that position. They have no shot. In fact, in Patriots history, you are much more likely to spend a 7th-round draft pick on a college quarterback that becomes a successful receiver as you are to draft one in the 1st round. Julian Edelman, better than pretty much any Patriots receiver they've ever drafted in the 1st round. Than Irving Fryer. And one of the things on Tet McMillan that I also don't like is they're saying he's not a great, crisp route runner. That's like the number one thing I think you have to look for these NFL guys. Where are you starting at with them? If they're not a great route runner, you got to start from square one with them. He's not a great route runner, but also in the scouting report, but he catches a lot of contested balls. He's a good contested ball guy. Am I getting amnesia? I think I've heard this one before. A guy who doesn't have elite speed, but pretty good size. Not a great route runner, but catches a lot of contested balls. Oh, yeah, and he plays college in Arizona. I don't want to draft N'Keal Harry number 4 overall. I think we learned our lesson with that, drafting him 32nd overall. Tet McMillan should be better than that. But that's what the scouting report reads like. It reads like N'Keal Harry's scouting report. And the Patriots have already made that mistake. They've already had that bust. Tet might be a good receiver in this league, but if we're being honest, I just don't trust them with any receiver. They might have found a way to mess up Marvin Harrison Jr., who I think is still going to be an elite receiver, although there was mixed results in year one. I just don't trust them at all at that position. Even if you're picking in the top 5 rather than 32nd. So I'm looking at probably the Michigan guys if Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter are not there, or trading back and then maybe using a pick on Will Campbell or Tyrone Banks from Texas at the tackle position. But I think the Patriots need to get this draft right so bad that I don't know that is the way by going receiver top 5. It's just such a huge risk for anybody, but specifically for this franchise, it's a huge risk. So no, I don't love it. And it's a guy I really liked watching in college, Ted McMillan, but to me, that's just too big a risk for this team and where they stand right now. They need to have a good draft. They need to have a good second day where they've got 3 picks. They need to have a good second day. And I imagine they're going to have to get active in this trade market. You know, there are guys on this team that you can trade and get something for. Ramondre Stevenson. There's some value on this team in terms of a trade market. Not a ton, obviously, because they were the worst team in football, but maybe some. Maybe there's some value in watching this show every weekday, high noon Eastern time, live here on YouTube. And then wherever you get your podcast, we're bringing you fresh Boston sports content all week long without any of the bullshit. Just, me and Zach being kind of weird. Thank you to Zach Burke. Thank you guys for listening. I'm Cam Stewart. We will see you Monday on The Cam Show.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internex.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Tusains, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.